Chapel Hill, North Carolina. This is where a fan's heart beats in time with the bounce of a basketball, where shooting stars don't appear outside. They're here in a swirl of royal and powder blue. This, the 199th Battle of the Blues, two giants in the world of college basketball, sharing 6 national titles, 13 National Players of the Year, 23 ACC titles, and a legacy for miraculous and magical moments.
Walter takes the shot.
He lets it fly. I can't believe it.
So many great ones before. Add another, forceful, explosive, dynamic, and up against his greatest challenge. There have been 56 All-Americans. The latest, so quick, so active, so dominating. The potential National Player of the Year, battling depth and youth. Coach K, who symbolizes defensive intensity, the heart of proud Duke, where passion reflects 16 hearts that beat as one. And rock-steady Carolina with a new coach and a new killer instinct. But the beat goes on and on and on. It's college sports' grandest rivalry. This is the Dean Smith Center in Chapel Hill. Number 1 faces number 2. The Blue Devils at 20-1 against the Tar Heels of North Carolina, 22-1. Good evening, everybody. Mike Patrick along with Dick Vitale. It's great to have you with us. As a broadcaster and a fan, the chance to do Duke against North Carolina is tremendous. The chance to do number 1 against number 2 is awesome. When you put them together, as we will tonight, you almost run out of words to describe it. We may be witnessing a piece of history. Dick, there are so many themes, so many things to look at in this game, but we have to start with the point guards.
I'll tell you one thing, Mike, my hands are sweating. I'm so excited I'm not playing. But we talk about point guard play. We have 2 of the finest in America. On one side, we got Wojciechowski. On the other side, Ed Cota with his uncanny passing ability. Take a look right here on Cota. Gets that passing lane and a bounce pass into Antoine Jamison, a dominating player inside. Now we're going to watch how they create momentum off the back screen and throw the alley-oop. Cota to Mr. Carter, who's so acrobatic, has a mini version of Michael Jordan on a slam jam bam. But on the other side, we talk about Wojciechowski. He can knock down the 3. And look at him on a defensive end. He's an all-Rambo guy. He's a Velcro man. He gets right in your chest. I mean, he creates so much excitement and intensity with that emotion and a defensive ability.
North Carolina is always tremendous on offense, but Duke makes its living on defense.
I'll tell you, Mike, North Carolina leads the nation offensively efficiency, leads the nation at 53.4, but Duke, tenacious on a defensive end. They force 22.4 turnovers. That's an unbelievable number because it creates offense, and they do such a great job playing the passing lanes. I'll tell you one thing, Mike, I know you're excited. I'm excited. The players are excited. Number 1 versus number 2. Cota Wojciechowski could determine that battle who's going to be victorious.
It is the greatest rivalry in sports, part of the very fabric of college basketball. It's so very important to the fans, but even more so to the young men who play the game.
For the couple years that I've been here, I've played in 4 Duke-Carolina games, and the intensity of this rivalry has been unbelievable. This will be my 5th game, and I think there's no other rivalry like it in the nation with any team and in any conference. And I think this year, again, the 2 top teams are playing our best basketball, and hopefully it'll be another great game.
So instead of winning this series, they now go to a pivotal Game 7. Rich?
If you're really into sports, you'll really be into new ESPN, the magazine, issue after issue. You'll be involved like no sports magazine ever involved you before.
Do we have a problem here?
ESPN, the magazine, is big. Bigger in size, bigger with news, pictures, player profiles, inside information, and amazing access to places you've never been before. So call now for ESPN, the magazine. Get 26 issues, a year's worth, for just $1 an issue. saving you over 66% off the newsstand price. And you'll get this great freebie, the official ESPN Palm Ball. This rubber mini basketball is guaranteed to fit the palm of your hand, and it's free. ESPN, the magazine. At last, you have something to do when you're not watching ESPN.
Call 1-800-401-5445.
No way. Pitino does not get a seat during ACC games. No way. This is not going to happen.
Don't you touch it.
Attention, college basketball fanatics. Here's Sunday's ACC matchup. It's a face-off between the ACC's top scorers when North Carolina's Antoine Jamison matches baskets with Georgia Tech's Matt Harpring. North Carolina, Georgia Tech, Sunday at 1, only on ESPN2. Welcome to the Naismith House.
ESPN2's presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by the new 98th Century by Buick, a Consumer's Digest Best Buy.
Welcome back to the Dean Smith Center in Chapel Hill for Duke against North Carolina. Our colleague Jay Billis played in 9 of these. Let's get his thoughts right now. Jay?
Mike, Antoine Jamison is the most difficult player in the country to match up with. He has got great speed, he is a relentless rebounder, and he does a great job when he catches the ball of getting it up with a quick release, the fastest in the country. Jamison is quick off of his feet. He goes after the ball with both hands, and when he gives it up, he really runs the court. That puts a tremendous amount of pressure on your transition defense. You can't allow him to get easy scores, and he is always moving. That makes him difficult to defend and difficult to block out. You can't just play behind him. You have got to get in front and deny the ball. But if you do, they can oftentimes lob it up or get it down low, and he will score. His ability makes it imperative that you have a versatile defender to guard him. Duke has just one of those defenders in freshman Shane Battier. He comes off the bench, and we're going to be watching that matchup in our spotlight. Mike?
All right, Jay, thanks very much. You couldn't get into this building right now if you had $1,500 in cash standing outside. Nobody is going to give you a ticket. Now for the Pizza Hut starting lineups. Let's go to the public address announcer, Kearney Andrews.
Good evening. Welcome to the University of North Carolina's Dean E. Smith Center. Tonight, the Tar Heels are pleased to host the Blue Devils of Duke University. Here are the starters for tonight's game. For the Blue Devils, at forwards, number 20 is a 6'8" sophomore from Southfield, Michigan, Mike Chappell. Number 4, 6'8" senior from Jersey City, New Jersey, Rashawn McLeod. At center, number 40, a 6'10" junior from Lovington, New Mexico, Tamon Domzalski. The guards, number 21 is a 6'3" junior from Anchorage, Alaska, Trajan Langdon. And number 12, a 5'11" senior from Severna Park, Maryland, Steve Wojciechowski. And starting for the Tar Heels, at the forwards, number 13, a 6'9" junior from Berlin, Germany, Ademola Okulaija. At forward, number 15, a 6'7" junior from Daytona Beach, Florida, Vince Carter. At center, wearing number 33, a 6'9" junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, Antoine Jamison. At the guards, number 5, a 6'1" sophomore from Brooklyn, New York, Ed Cota. Number 3, a 6'3" senior from Greenville, South Carolina, Shamond Williams.
The emotion already spilling over here. First-year head coach Bill Guthridge hasn't missed a beat since taking over for the legendary Dean Smith. He's faced 7 top 25 teams so far on the way to 22-1. Mike Krzyzewski, with his greatest recruiting class, has blended his youngsters with his returning veterans so well. They are 20-1 and ranked first in the nation.
Hey, Mike, we talk about the keys to the game for Duke. Number one, their three-point attack has been lethal. They got 5 guys that can knock it down. They've made already 167. Last year, they made 279. You better contain their perimeter game. Also for Duke, their bench strength. Tremendous depth. If they can get into Carolina's bench, big plus for Duke. As you can see, they're better than 2-to-1 ratio against their opposition. For North Carolina to prevail, they must dominate on the glass. They've been sensational all year. That's been a negative for Duke. In fact, last year they out-rebounded Duke 49-18 right here. And they better handle the pressure. Duke forces 22 turnovers a game, creates offense off those turnovers. So that means Shammond Williams and Ed Cota have to be very effective in handling the basketball.
We are set to go number 1 against number 2.
I'll tell you, Mike, we've been waiting for this. I mean, it is so exciting here. This is a tournament flavor. This is absolutely bedlam. The national media are out. The people are standing. This is going to be jubilation galore for basketball junkies.
North Carolina controls the tip.
Here's the matchup. Wojciechowski against Mr. Cota. So he's going to try to block his vision.
Shammond Williams gets by Langdon. A little scoop shot won't go. Kept alive by Okulaja, but rebounded to Wojciechowski.
Shammond Williams, a big game player, was excellent last year in the ACC tournament. You got to keep an eye on Shammond Williams. Give it inside.
Domzowski kicks it back to Wojo, and they'll reset.
That's the one area I look at Duke not being as super as they were earlier in the year. Missing Elton Brand on the interior. It makes them play on the perimeter a little bit more often.
Rashawn McLeod with 10 on the shot clock, and Duke takes a 2-0 lead.
He has really become a scorer, Mike. We saw him in a brilliant performance against Maryland when they blew out the Terps and had 25 on the road against Florida State.
Cota had to pick up his dribble and then makes the rare turnover.
They want to take away his vision.
McLeod. Rebound to Chappelle. He stepped on the baseline.
Chappelle, an active player, can really shoot the trifecta. You look at Coach K on that sideline.
So far, the advantage has gone to Wojciechowski in the matchup with Cota with the 1 turnover.
One thing also with the staffs of both these clubs, there's such a passion and love for the uniform. You look at North Carolina, Ford, Sullivan, and Hanners all played there. You look at the Duke bench and you see Snyder, Dawkins, and Henderson. They all wore a Duke uniform.
One of them bleeds dark blue, the other one light blue. Foul on Rashawn McLeod will be his first and the team's first.
Remember, we're talking about a Super 6 when we talk about North Carolina. We're talking about 2 teams for Duke.
Jamison, baseline.
He was big last year here, had 33 in that game against Duke. Duke has lost 8 out of 9. That blows my mind against North Carolina.
And they've lost 6 straight here. Wojo, that's a 2-point shot. He had his foot on the line. 4-0 Blue Devils.
Wojo, look at the defense. Look at the DBT. Drive him, beat him, and turn him. He loves the challenge of playing on the defensive end.
Shammond Williams had it knocked away, got it back, feeds Jamison, and a foul on Domzowski.
You know, I agree with Jay Billis, who talked about the catch and a release of Jamison. It's the quickest in the game of basketball. Take a look at Wojo right here. We're going to see the little fake, and he's going to come off the screen, head up all the time for your young kids, squares his body, and he shows that he's more than a one-dimensional player. This guy's not just a guy who scraps and claws. He can make the open shot.
He has worked his way up to 4th in the ACC in long-range shooting, hitting more than 43%. And speaking of working his way up, Jamison has done such a better job at the free throw line than he's ever done in his career.
Well, you know, Mike, as a freshman, he was shooting 50%. Now he's in the 70s. Look at here the number of attempts, which doesn't shock me at all because of the way they go into him in terms of the attempts versus the next guy on the club. You expect him to go to the line a great deal because of the way he's so effective down in the low box.
Jamison shooting over 71%. Carolina is on the board for the first time.
Carolina playing man-to-man defense. A lot of intensity and emotion on that floor.
Langdon and Williams, an interesting matchup. McLeod had a screen passed on the shot, then tries to get it to Domzowski, tipped by Carolina. The 1998 ESPY Awards coming up on Monday, 7:30 from Radio City Music Hall. Norm Macdonald, the host. 35 categories covering the best sports performances of the year, plus the Arthur Ashe Award for Courage presented to former North Carolina coach Dean Smith. Domzalski, offensive rebound. Nice move to get inside. Missed the shot. Tipped outside, out to the Blue Devils.
Domzalski's given him a presence on the interior. He's a physical player. Not bad when he was your third-string center behind Elton Brand and Chris Burgess. Here's a guy that really struggled last year physically. They're asking him to basically be a physical player on the interior.
Maktar Jai checks in for the first time. They rotate those first 6 players.
That's a coaching move by Bill Guthridge. Wants to call them a Super 6.
Langdon too strong.
Maktar's been an improved player, Mike. He really has been an improved player from last season. You got to take away the lob. You can't let them throw the lob because it creates momentum for Carter.
Carter fadeaway jumper that time.
Well, they'd rather see Carter shoot the jump shot than get behind the defense. You got to play behind Carter and don't allow him to get behind you for that alley-oop.
Duke with a huge advantage so far in the early rebounding department. Jai gets that one off the miss by Chappell.
Nice look. That's automatic.
Shammond Williams too strong. Offensive rebound and a foul. Vince Carter went up and got it.
Shammond usually knocks that down. Had 20 big ones in the last game against Wake Forest when they were on the road and they were struggling. They went down to Davey Odom, who's doing a phenomenal job with a young team. Started 5 freshmen yesterday.
Wojciechowski got that personal. Non-shooting foul. North Carolina 0 for 4 from the field.
One thing you got to keep in mind, Carolina has had the ability to come from behind 5 times this year.
What extension on that jump. Carter hits the first field goal.
NBA scouts love him, Mike, because of his great legs and his great explosiveness.
Rashawn McLeod answers at the other end.
First transfer ever to wear a uniform at Duke. Came from St. John's University.
Wojciechowski after the stumble. Quickly ahead, McLeod. 8-4, Duke.
McLeod has become a scorer. He gets out in transition. He can knock the trifecta. Played for Bob Hurley at St. Anthony's, who's produced so many quality players.
You make a mistake against Duke, and they make you pay for it every time.
That's what we talked about earlier about the turnovers, 22.4 a game.
Cota lost that one out of bounds. Maybe a little case of the nerves for North Carolina early. They've had 3 turnovers.
Ready for the Edge pizza? Just take a deep breath and choose between 4 varieties of the new pulchritudinous pizza that take toppings to the edge. Then close your eyes and yell Geronimo. And when you're done, you'll be a man, my son. Have you been to the Edge?
Looking for more space? Try the Next Century. It's got the most interior space of any vehicle in its class. Because extra space is one luxurious touch that's appreciated by families everywhere. The new Century by Buick is also a Consumer's Digest Best Buy, making Century one of the best values on earth.
I started with the original Rogaine. I wanted to fix this, and Rogaine was starting to work. But they said, Mike, switch over to the new Rogaine. That's when my hair coach started noticing.
Looks good, Dad.
With this new extra strength for men, they say 45% more hair is the average. I think I'm gonna beat that. Every Sunday, I got 60,000 friends staring at my head, so more hair is a big win.
The new Rogaine, 45% more hair.
I mean, consider the alternative.
At Plank Road, we don't do everything well. Fortunately, beer is something we do well. Ice House, thanks and enjoy.
Duke with the early lead, 8-4, and Dick, it's been because of their defense.
They've done a great job with their defensive pressure. That's been a trademark as we take a look at Duke right here. Right here we see it. Freeze it. See how they deny in a post and they deny on the wings. They really pressure the basketball, but it starts with Wojciechowski on the ball. He creates the turnover. He's like the Rambo man. Give him a deuce on that. That was all created by the little guy, Wojciechowski, and his intense defensive pressure. Like who said you have to be big to play this game? You think about Earl Boykins down at Eastern Michigan, You think about Shante Rogers and George Washington. Look at the turnover rates right here.
Shane Battier in for the first time. Another one of the great freshmen. He throws it away. Picked by Okulaja. Maktar Jai walked.
North Carolina's got to start to run their offense. That's been their key all year. Half-court execution. Bill Guthridge has to be concerned early. There's no rhythm to their half-court game.
And one of the keys to running the break is who you pass it to. Maktar Jai is one of the last guys you want to give the ball in that situation.
Exactly. Making a good decision to put it in the hands of the right shooter. That's what hurt them early against Wake Forest the other day. Then they got it to the right people, and they went on to the victorious column.
Battier with a jump hook and couldn't hit it. Chris Burgess is also in for the Blue Devils. They are much deeper than Carolina. Jamison creates the contact, leans in, missed the basket, but he drew the foul on Shane Battier.
They do such a great job of making that entry inside to Jamison, and then he has that quick release. He has the quickest catch release in college basketball. There's the bounce pass. Cota feeds him perfectly, and there is that release, draws the contact, seals off the defense.
And Mike Krzyzewski was up immediately pointing out to the officiating crew that he thinks Jamison is the guy who initiates the contact. And it's true, Jamison does initiate the contact, but that's what shooters normally get away with.
I'll tell you, right now, certainly the leading candidate for Player of the Year, but you better give some consideration as he comes up empty for Raef LaFrentz. He's going to play in 25 games this year, even though he missed 9 because they had 8 exempt games at Kansas.
They lost it inside. Wojciechowski nearly got it back after Burgess mishandled it. Into the lane, the scoop shot for Cota.
See, I think Cota has got to score a little bit more. I think the bottom line is he's right now thinking assist, and he's got to utilize his ability like he did there to break the defense down.
A 3 out of the corner. Chris Carrawell comes off the Duke bench to bury the long-range shot.
Not normally a long-range shooter, but he is shooting 40% from 3. He doesn't have many attempts.
Jamison leans in again and hits another one.
Can't let him get the ball that easily inside. Somebody's got to tell him he's an All-American. He was able to sit in that 3-second lane, and that'll be a field day for him.
Once he gets it inside, it's over. Carrawell will draw a personal this time as he glides down the lane.
We're going to take a look at Jamison now, clearing out the lane so that Cota, see, they play honest. What they did there, they don't give help on Cota because they know he'll drop the dish. Inside, there's Okulaja with the good pass, and once he catches it in air and seals you off, it's automatic.
Carrawell, the sophomore from St. Louis, will go to the line. He's nearly a 70% free throw shooter.
Cardinal Ritter High School comes up empty there. Talking about free throw shooting, Mike, if this game goes to the last 4 minutes, you take a look, for example, the backcourt of North Carolina. Cota 81% and 89% Shammond Williams.
Carrawell hits the second one.
Another interesting factor is Duke has not had to come really from behind other than their loss to Michigan when they were up 17, where Carolina's had to come from behind in several games, double digits. They were down to Georgia. They were down certainly to Wake Forest and Purdue.
Cota is now guarded by Avery as Wojciechowski gets a breather.
Avery played so brilliantly in their big win against Arizona at 21.
Carter, look at that glide.
See what they did again. Jamison cleared out, and they're not giving help. They're saying we're going to stay home on Jamison, and it's opening up the driving lane.
Chappelle rejected but fouled.
Oh, there's electricity in this place. Antoine Jamison, look at this guy right here. Everybody's All-American, a consensus All-American. Taj Mahal of college basketball right here.
He was fouled by Carter before the block. That's some rejection by Jamison.
Look at Jamison clearing out for Carter. Carter's got those great legs. Mr. Florida almost went to Duke. In fact, Duke was in the running. The same with Battier. He told me tonight, he said, my second choice was North Carolina.
Chappelle hits the free throw. He's out of Southfield, Michigan. Duke has done a great job recruiting out of the state of Michigan.
Yeah, they really have. Grant Hill now playing with the Pistons, but Duke and North Carolina are such national names. They can recruit all over America with their magical name and their tradition.
Chappelle makes them both. 4-point lead for the Blue Devils. Under 14 minutes to go, first half.
Avery, a very strong player, an excellent third guard, number 5. Tough
poor pass down on the floor. Duke calls time, and it's their basketball.
Tough play to make right there. He tried to throw the spectacular bounce pass. Mike Krzyzewski, 7 Final Fours in 9 years. 1994, they get beat by Arkansas for the national title. And you look at his eyes now, Mike. He's got that fire again that seemed to have disappeared back in 95. But it's there, bigger than ever now in Mike Krzyzewski's eyes.
Of course, we have more ACC basketball coming your way on the Deuce on Sunday. The same number 2 North Carolina Tar Heels will be going down to the Thriller Dome at Georgia Tech to face Bobby Crimmon's Yellow Jackets, who really looked good the other night against Clemson. That starts 1 o'clock Eastern on Sunday. Georgia Tech really building toward the tournament.
I'll tell you one thing, that's a dangerous game coming off an emotional game like this. Georgia Tech could be really dangerous with Glover and Harper and company. Duke's got a tough one as well. They got to go to Raleigh on ABC. We have that game, Brad Nessler and I, on ABC against North Carolina State.
Duke by 4 at North Carolina. Avery into the lane, banks at home.
He's going to be an excellent point guard. When he steps in for Wojciechowski, he's one of those players that I call a combination guard. He's unique. He can play either guard slide. Got a backdoor cut. They missed it.
Maktar Jai got it to Okulaja. It's blocked. That'll be a jump ball situation. It goes to Duke. The block by Shane Battier.
Battier, according to Mike, could become one of the best defensive players ever to wear a Duke uniform. We're going to watch Avery right now. Look at the head fake. See the young kids, he gets Cota up in the air, freezes Cota, and then he gets into the lane. Jai comes over too late, kisses it on the glass.
Duke with the advantage in bench scoring, 6-0 over North Carolina, which is not a strong point for the Tar Heels. Maktar Jai with a rebound.
Fatigue can become a factor down the stretch.
And it's warm in this building tonight.
And they're really putting a lot of bodies on Jamison, rotating now. McLeod's playing him.
Maktar Jai will try a 3, and he hit it.
That is big. If Maktar Jai is knocking that down, that is unbelievably special for Carolina.
He's tried 6 this year. That's the second one he's made, and here is an offensive foul. Great defense by Okulaja.
And look at Jai. Look at Jai. He makes the triple, and now he becomes a cheerleader. And the faithful, the blue, love it. They love it. This could spell trouble right here for Duke when this guy's knocking down threes. Here he is, an all Marco Polo guy. Started at Wake Forest, went to Michigan, and is now here. Now look at Okulaja. Great defense, one of those role players.
How does a guy like Maktar Jai, who's made 1 for 5 all year, have the guts to shoot a 3-pointer in this game?
I'll tell you one thing, he knows with their bench that's limited, he's going to get PT.
Blue Devils by 3.
Nice look. There he is, operating, breaking you down. Ed Cota, a tremendous penetrator.
Cota set it up. It's a 1-point game.
He's averaging 7 assists a game.
Carrawell forced that one up. Saved by the Heels. North Carolina with a chance to take the lead. Okulaja partially blocked. The follow.
Hello.
Haywood, the big freshman.
Oh, that was Haywood off the bench. The big guy, the 7-footer. We're so far up. Listen to this play. It's ready to explode here. Oh, baby.
A 7-0 run for North Carolina to take the lead.
I'll tell you, they got quality minutes out of Haywood against Clemson.
Domzowski got a hand on the miss. It's out of bounds to the Heels.
We're going to watch him inside. Right here. There goes Haywood. Jam City, baby. If he gets some QT, watch out. Oh, this place is rocking.
To make it out here, there are a few things you might want to consider. Some more critical than others. To build, test, and manage business software, 4 out of 5 of the world's largest corporations rely on CompuWare. What do you need most?
Looking for more space? Try the next Century. It's got the most interior space of any vehicle in its class. Because extra space is one luxurious touch that's appreciated by families everywhere. The new Century by Buick is also a Consumer's Digest Best Buy, making Century one of the best values on earth.
I want my baby back. Chili's baby back rib. I want my baby. Chili's baby back rib. Barbecue sauce. I got my baby back ribs.
Now through Valentine's Day, you can get the Zales Valentine Keepsake Box, filled with chocolate hearts and a diamond heart pendant, all for just $99. What a sweet idea. Only at Zales.
The Heels lead it by 1. When Dean Smith retired, many thought Carolina would be singing the blues, but the faithful knew that Bill Guthridge would not miss a beat.
As assistant coach, we didn't get the opportunity to see him make many decisions, but now as a head coach, he's done a great job of just making those decisions, and we feel confident with each and every decision that he makes.
He's given us the opportunity to just go out there and have fun and play basketball, but yet we're a mature team, and he knows when it's time to settle down and do what we have to do, and we're going to do it.
North Carolina with its first lead after a 7-0 run. Jamison to the baseline and hits another one.
I'll tell you one thing, Mike. They started out 0 for 4, but they've hit 8 of their last 9 shots. 8 of their last 9. That's
Antoine Jamison has 8 points.
That's why they lead the nation in offense right now, shooting 53.8% as a team, North Carolina, with that great half-court execution. And Jamison makes that happen. Watch him on the inside right here, number 33. He's in triple threat position. He beats McLeod. There he is squaring. Wojciechowski tries to give a double team to him. He's really improved his range facing the basket.
Last foul given to Jamison. That was his first.
Langdon had a big game last year when they beat North Carolina 26, but they haven't allowed him to get too many looks at the basket.
North Carolina goes zone on the inbounds, and Trajan Langdon loves the sight of a zone.
He must have heard us up here. The Alaskan assassin loves to shoot the triple. One of the best shooters in the history of Duke.
Tied at 19. Maktar Jai double and triple team. Lost the ball, but last touched by the Blue Devils.
We're going to take a look at Langdon right here, and he's going to run a curl move right here. Watch Langdon right now. Here he comes, and a curl move right here. Freeze it. See, look at his square. Nobody gets out, and that's an automatic for him. Nobody rotates, and he knocks down the 3. He can really shoot the rock. Great free throw shooter, 89%. He's been coming up big in the games lately. He was in a slump earlier, but the last 4 games, he's been sensational. Nothing tricky defensively, just straight, tough, hard man-to-man. An eye on the wings, pressure the basketball.
Shammond Williams has turned into a pretty good point guard. He got it to a wide-open Maktar Jai.
I'll tell you, Jai has really become productive on the inside. He's making shots inside. He's very active on a defensive end.
Carolina's now hit 9 of its last 10 shots. McLeod for 3.
So confident out there. Made a lot of big shots against Steve Robinson's Florida State team on the road when the Seminoles had them on the ropes.
Rashawn McLeod has come up big early. He has 9. Great help defense by Wojciechowski. Comes from behind and knocks it out of bounds. Duke by a point with 9:33 to go in the half.
There's a look at Wojciechowski trying to make the entry. There's McLeod knocking it down. They can really shoot that trifecta. Now look at Jamison right here. Gets bumped, and that's why they're able to get that shot. They ran a down screen, a vertical screen to get him free.
Domzowski and Maktar Jai having their own little personal war inside. And look at Shammond.
Shammond Williams, big-time player in the NCAA tournament last year. He was the MVP of the regionals. He was the MVP of the ACC tournament. He loves the big game, the marquee special. Here he is.
Williams with the steal and the bucket.
I love that little guy, Mike. He is so special. He came here not heavily recruited. Only one other guy really wanted him, and that was Rick Pitino at Kentucky. He had to go to a prep school. Nobody really wanted him out of high school in Greenville.
Carolina leading by 3. They've hit 11 of their last 12, and McLeod answers at the other end.
He's become a go-to guy, a special guy. Think about how good they would be as you look at this. 11 for 12 since they went 0 for 4. Elton Brand inside was the best center in the ACC. He was leading Duke in rebounding and scoring before he broke his foot.
Carter, Langdon doing a good job on him, and he traveled. Better bring your lunch pail if you're going to go against that Duke defense.
Right here now, look at McLeod trying to drop it inside. Now here's the defense converting on the offensive end. Shammond Williams, see how he cuts off the defensive player? What a great job for you young kids. Take a direct line to the basket. If he veers right, they get the angle for the block shot.
Carolina by 1. Chappelle spins out on it. Here comes Shammond Williams.
Like he's really worked on his ball handling skills. He used to turn the ball over and was a negative as a freshman with the basketball.
Dean Smith used to say, I get very nervous when he handles the ball.
I miss Dean. Where is Dean?
Carter for 3.
Where is Dean? Somebody find me Dean. I want to see Michelangelo. He's not here tonight.
Avery back the other way. Trajan Langdon for 3.
We've talked about the three-point shot. I'll tell you, against Maryland, they knocked 11 down in the first half. Against Arizona, 9 in the first half. And they applied the knockout punch early. Tonight, we got Tyson and Holyfield, and there'll be no biting anybody tonight.
They have hit 4. Well, I'm not so sure about that. They've hit 4 out of 6 from three-point land. Williams had it knocked away inside, and here's a whistle and a foul.
You know what's beautiful, too, Mike, and we have not mentioned it yet? We got 3 guys blowing the whistle today. All 3 have worked the Final 4. We got 3 of Freddie Baracat's best in the ACC. I think sometimes they get maligned too much and do a great job.
We'll be back in a moment. Number 1 against number 2.
So, Netboy, this ESPN Gamecast thing is really cool. How's it work?
Well, Mr. Bodine, you just point and click and you get live game data presented in a graphical interface. What I do is I take real-time stats event data, FTP it via TCP/IP, parse using proprietary ESPN software, and I push it on the net to Java-enabled browsers. Okay.
Do you need cash? Thousands of families have turned to J.G. Wentworth for money for medical expenses, business opportunities, debt consolidation, and new homes. If you're receiving periodic payments from a structured settlement or personal injury award and need cash, call now. Once again, if you're receiving structured settlement payments over a long period of time but need cash, call now.
Call 1-800-469-1544.
We don't exactly know who'll be presenting at this year's ESPYs.
Oh, well, that's a problem, right?
Oh, not at all. We have a sample of your voice we can digitally reproduce.
Really? Wow, okay. Hi, I'm Norm Macdonald. Please join me in a star-studded array of celebrities, such as...
Alec Baldwin, Rebecca Romaine, Roger Clemens, Joe Namath, Terrell Davis.
Man, that's technology. That's what that is.
The ESPYs, presented by General Motors and Pennzoil, Monday at 8.
We're going to take a look at Trajan Langdon getting free here for a triple. We're going to watch a little handoff right here. Little handoff. Freeze him. See, right here, he gets the look because of the screen right in this area gets him free for the triple. There it is. Rotation too slow to come over, and he's automatic. The Alaskan Assassin. There he is, squaring his body. If he could square his shoulders. See the official? He's got the 3 up. He's got the 3 up, Scagliano. He's posting at 3. He says, that's 3 for Mr. Langdon.
Langdon has 6, but the leading scorer for Duke is McLeod with 11. Jamison leading the Heels with 8.
Trajan was named for a Roman emperor. You believe that? And his middle name is Shaka. And Shaka, you ready for this? Was a war chieftain. It stands for Zulu. And I did my research, Mike.
Okalaja goes to the baseline to Maktar Jai, who hits another jump shot.
I'll tell you, Jai's having a heck of a first half offensively.
He averages 5.6 points a game, and that's it.
Doesn't get many scores inside as a role player. Oh, what a great look inside, but he's caught up in the air, Shammond Williams.
We're tied at 27.
You know what's so special with both these clubs? You don't hear about NCAA violations and NCAA problems. I'll say this, and I know some people will not agree. I think Dean Smith, what he did in over 30 years, is the greatest role model of all college sports. He won, players graduated, and there was never any NCAA violations.
Couldn't agree with you more. He set the standard. Cota dumps it off for the jam to Jamison.
There's Antoine Jamison with the little jam on the unselfish play and the good interior passing, which is the key and why they shoot 53.8%.
Carolina by 2. This is Wojo. McLeod spun out for him. McLeod. McLeod again.
What a great effort. What a great effort. Came up empty. What a superb effort. Hello. Hello. Nobody got back, baby. That's Jam City. And the Big Blue love it. Oh, baby, they love it. Even Michael Jordan's jumping up for joy, cheering for his heels somewhere in America.
Avery misses the jumper. Jamison, outlet to Shammond Williams.
When in doubt, go right inside.
Carter.
Better get a TO, baby. Better get a TO, Mr. K. Better get a TO. Phil Ford's all pumped up. Everybody's pumped up here at the D-Dome. There's the TO by Coach K.
Mike Krzyzewski giving the officials the stare. He thought he should have gotten a foul at the other end of the court, but Carolina explodes for a 6-point lead over Duke.
Looking for more space? Try the next Century. It's got the most interior space of any vehicle in its class. Because extra space is one luxurious touch that's appreciated by families everywhere. The new Century by Buick is also a Consumer's Digest Best Buy, making Century one of the best values on earth.
Circuit City has great prices on DSS systems, and we also have a few ideas about what to do with your old satellite dishes. Good guacamole.
For guaranteed low prices and expert advice on your new DSS system, the place to go is Circuit City. We're your DSS experts, and we'll show you how to see more sports, movies, and pay-per-view programming, too. Plus, get $100 off professional installation or a self-install kit free with any DSS purchase. Now at Circuit City.
Accidents happen, and no matter where or when they do, the world's largest claim service network gets on the case immediately. Prompt, personal claim service is no accident. So we can get you back on the road faster than you can say, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
North Carolina by 6, and Dick, they've scored 8 straight points.
I'll tell you one thing, they got really up the court in the offensive transition, and the defensive transition wasn't there. Take a look right here. Freeze it. Telestrator not working, so we'll just freeze it. C33 up in front. That's Jamison. He's ahead of the pack, showing his ability to run the court. That's why he'll be a superb NBA small forward. He can really get out in transition. You must
Duke
stop
needs
the ball.
an answer here. North Carolina's made 15 of its last 17 shots, and they get the answer as Carrawell goes right to the rack.
Nobody rotated over. Coach K was upset. He thought McLeod got fouled 3 times, he said. Carrawell with that big basket right there, taking it to the goal.
Jamison with a leaner, won't go this time, but the follow is good by Carter.
They're beating him on the offensive boards inside.
Quickly back the other way and a foul.
Think about this now. This is the first time that Duke's really been tested here early. They have a plus 19-point margin at halftime is what they're averaging. Michael K's club scores big early, but in this game, they got to battle and battle against the offensive efficiency of North Carolina.
Shammond Williams picked up that personal. We're not in the bonus yet.
This one makes the ACC so special year in and year out. Quality teams, the intensity and emotion. There's a great chance that these clubs, Mike, could meet 4 times this year in the ACC Championship. ABC has the game February 28th at Cameron, and they could meet again in San Antonio.
Carrawell nearly threw it away, knocked away by Carter. Jamison on the bench. Looks like we may have some kind of a bloody nose.
There's Jamison rotating over, trying to take that charge, showing he's more than just an offensive player.
Carrawell right down the lane. He'll draw another foul.
He's a warrior. When you talk about Carrawell as they work on Antoine Jameson, he's got those long arms, Jameson. They stole Michael Jordan's jersey this weekend. They stole it. There was somebody climbed those rafters up there way on top and took the jersey of Mr. Jordan. Look at it. It's missing. It used to be hanging next to 52. Worthy. They got to catch that guy. Got to catch that thief. Got to find out who he is.
Well, we know one thing. He can climb.
I know it can't be me because I'm afraid of heights.
As much as I'd like that jersey, I wouldn't go up there to get it.
We're working from way up high in the catbird seat today.
Carrawell cuts the lead to 4 as he hits both free throws. Jameson will come right back into the ball game.
Nice coming off the bench with a guy like Carrawell. That's the plus that Duke has. There's no drop-off as you look at Jameson's numbers. The All-American rising for the big game. And Carrawell has given them 8 points off the bench. And he's really a tough defender as well. Plays so hard. Carter tossed that one away, trying to hit Cota. Carrawell matched up on Carter. Carter's had a heck of a year this year. Ready for this number? Carter's shooting 62% and Jameson 61 for this season. Dick, that is the 8th North Carolina turnover. That's exactly what Duke wanted, but they haven't taken enough advantage of it. Exactly. They got to make them pay. They usually do off the turnover. Carrawell, a collision, an offensive foul. Good call right there. Bill Guthridge, you can't sing his praises enough. The way he has stepped in so many times when people have replaced legends, they have really found it so difficult. You think about Vince Lombardi with Phil Benson. As you look at the charge right here, you think about those that had to follow Casey Stengel, follow well. You talk about Woody Hayes with Earl Bruce, who never got his due. Joby Hall never got his due by following Adolph Rupp. And Joby Hall did, I thought, a solid job winning a national title. You know, on that last play, Domzowski could have easily gotten that foul because he really wiped Carter out on the screen. Guthridge signed a 5-year contract. That was the only way Dean Smith wanted to get done. Carter at the line as they're into the 1-and-1. He's improved like you cannot believe. Vince Carter this year, his junior year, as you look at the numbers. Freshman year didn't play on a defensive end. This year, look at the shooting percentage, now up to 63%. Looked great on those two. 37-31 Heels, under 5 minutes to go in the half. It's been everything we've said, everything that's been advertised. It's been that. Langdon with a tough shot to pull up jumper. Jameson with yet another rebound. That's 4. Such a quick rebound, and he's so quick to the basketball, Jameson. Now they got McLeod checking him. Keep rotating people on him, hoping to wear him down. He screens really well and releases to the goal. They missed him. They had him. This is Cota. Wojciechowski's done a great job on him. Jameson lean in, missed, and a foul. He just keeps getting those fouls with that great agility. He's so agile on that baseline. The foul called on McLeod. That's going to be his second. Jameson out of Charlotte, North Carolina, has been a star from the day he has stepped on his campus. There he is, 33. He's active without the basketball. See, there he is. He's active. Toughest guy to play is a guy that's got great motion, and he's a lot stronger than what he looks. See how he screens? Now he releases to the goal. Jameson hits the free throw. He worked all summer on that free throw line. He said, I knew I was going to go to the line a great deal. He told me I worked like diligently on that free throw line, and he's improved immeasurably. Shot 50% as a freshman. Look at that, 62 as a South, and up to 72% this year. That's a little sign for you young people. It's nice to dream, but make those dreams happen by great work ethic. 14 points tonight for the ACC's leading scorer. The margin is 8 for the Tar Heels. I tell you, has he stepped up, Mike? Has he really stepped up, Jameson? Biggest lead of the night. He's been terrific. That's what great players do. They like the big moment. They like the big stage. Shane Battier. Double team. Block. What defense by Jameson. Yeah, he did a great job of holding his ground. Never went with the fake. Battier tried to sucker him into the air. He wasn't buying it. Maktar Jai with a jump hook, short. This is unfamiliar territory this year for this Duke team, being behind. They have never trailed at halftime. Average of 19-point differential at halftime. Oh. Jameson ahead. Hello, hello, Jam City. Jam City here in Chapel Hill, the mecca for college hoops tonight. This is the capital of the basketball world tonight. Jameson has 15 points. The lead is 10 and they shot 0 for 4 to start the game. On the baseline, the students are acting like the Cameron Crazies.
Chappelle, great drive down the baseline. He will not get the basket. He was fouled before he got there. The personal called on Maktar Jai. It is his second.
Look at Jamison. He's cherry picking, as they say on the playground. He sneaks out, and they recognize him right away. Nobody rotates back. Now he's got the little strut. He's got the All-American strut. It's going to be tough to beat him out for Player of the Year this year. Unfortunately, at Kansas, Ray Lafrentz had that injury, but he certainly is going to have enough time with all the games they're playing. Hey, speaking about Kansas, congratulations, Roy Williams, whose son is on the bench. 272 wins in 10 years, Mike, and it's not even done. That's 27 games a year. An amazing record.
He's done a brilliant job. Here's a traveling foul, or traveling call, rather. Mike Krzyzewski trying to encourage his kids. Bill Guthridge trying to encourage his to just keep doing what they're doing.
Who's getting a little rattled now on the offensive end.
Cota pull-up. Followed by Jamison.
Jamison is having one of those days. He's showing why. He's the 3M man. He's magical. He is absolutely magnificent, and he's marvelous.
Antoine Jamison, 18 points and 6 rebounds.
In the 2 meetings here at home as a freshman in South, he's averaging 28 a game. On the 2 at Cameron Indoor Stadium, he's averaging 11 a game. Something tells me he loves the home turf.
Carrawall comes back in. There's Ricky Price, the senior who has not seen very many minutes this year. Mike Krzyzewski hoping to get some lift from one of his seniors. North Carolina on another 8-0 run.
Trying to bring in some experience, Mike. Ricky Price didn't gain eligibility until the latter part of December. In practice with the club, had some great moments last year as a Rolade special, the 6th man.
Against the zone. Wojciechowski, that's a big basket after being down by 12.
That's a quality trifecta. And with the triple, you know Duke can get back in the game quickly.
Boy, when they've seen that zone, they just go crazy. They've hit 5 out of 9 from 3-point range. Jamison again, that's 20.
Can't handle him tonight on the inside. It's the Antoine Jamison show. Awesome Antoine.
3-pointer by Trajan Langdon. Comes out. Carrawall with a rebound. Then he had it taken away by Cota.
Oh, there it is.
Jamison with 22 and a foul.
He's looking like the coming of a Michael Jordan. I mean, this guy is running the court, excelling on the inside. What a show. What a show. Cota knows he's trailing. Look at the eyes. Look at this great passer. Look at the dish. He dishes the rock, the little finger roll. Antoine Jamison. Wow.
1:28 to go in the half. Let's check in with Jay Billis. Jay, can you hear us?
I can, Mike, and it seems like everything we talked about in our open about Antoine Jamison has come to pass. He has been spectacular in this first half, running the court, getting the ball inside. He's been a tremendous force. Look at him go up for this defensive rebound. Then with the ball reversal, he gets great position down low and finishes, and he can run the court like no big man in the country. Mike?
Jay knows a little bit about playing against North Carolina. He was here for the very first game, Jay Billis, that they opened the Dean Dome, and that was against the Heels, and it was a special night here.
Antoine Jamison has scored the last 8 points for North Carolina. He has hit 9 out of 11 field goals, and Mike Krzyzewski and his kids have had no answer for him. There's the average lead that Duke has had at the halftime this season. They have not trailed at the half all year. Well, with 1:32 to go, they are going to trail in this one.
He's talking to his 2 outstanding assistants sitting next to him in terms of Quinn Snyder and Johnny Dawkins, who was Player of the Year. Remember this to put it in perspective. In 1994, they were #1 and #2. In that matchup, Carolina prevailed with Stackhouse and Wallace and Montross and Phelps. But the bottom line is Duke went to the Final Four and lost to an outstanding Arkansas team of Nolan Richardson when Scotty Thurman knocked down a big triple.
Duke needs a couple of quick buckets here in the closing moments of the half.
Well, now you test the character of the Duke kids, and you see what they're made of if they can come from behind on the road.
Wojciechowski, 17-footer, won't go. Okulaja with a rebound. One shot and out for North Carolina, or for Duke.
It's got to be a funny feeling right now in that Duke uniform, looking at yourself in a deficit. Arizona, certainly nothing's changed my mind as they're going for their 20th. Arizona, Kansas, Duke, and North Carolina, I really feel will be playing at the big party in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome for the Final Four. Look at him leaning all over Jamison. He's got a mismatch inside. They got to get him the ball. They got Langdon playing him. Can't handle him in there. He's too big.
Cota with a leaner.
Should have dumped it into Jamison. Had a mismatch.
They'll get a fresh 35 on the shot clock with 46.8 on the game clock.
Right here, you got to throw him the ball. That's an M&M. That's like having Cindy Crawford in her finest bikini against Roseanne Barr in a beauty contest. That's a no contest.
That's not must-see TV either.
That's like me against Robert Redford in a good-looking contest. He has no shot.
Same category.
He has no shot, does he, Mike? My beautiful dome. Oh, it's so exciting to be here, to be able to witness this kind of intensity and emotion. The greatest sports rivalry in college basketball. That'll be another great one Tuesday night when I go down here for Indiana, Purdue. Talked to Gene Cady today. His club had this club down double figures, and Carolina came back and beat them. There's Shaman, little one-on-one.
Shaman Williams hanging in the lane, 50-34, and North Carolina putting on a show here in the first half against Duke.
What a clinic. Look at Michael Kay sitting on that sideline. A clinic 101 and how to execute in their half-court game and tearing that great Duke defense apart.
And now they can play for the last shot.
They got people that can break you down.
Wojciechowski with the steal. Tries to get it ahead and does, but the block.
Was a great pass by Wojo, and they come up empty because of the great defense. What a brilliant performance. An A+, baby. If you had a chart and evaluate the Heels, an A+ for the first half.
Antoine Jamison with a remarkable performance. 23 points and 6 boards. North Carolina finishes the half on a 15-3 run to take a 50-34 halftime lead here at the Dean Dome. We'll be back with more right after this. You're watching ACC basketball #1 against #2. Point lead for the Heels, and what a first half Antoine Jamison, the Player of the Year candidate for the Heels, had an incredible run, hitting 9 of 11 shots from the floor, scoring his full game average of 23 points. He also had 6 rebounds as North Carolina took the lead and expanded it in the last 10 minutes. Back with the second half in just a moment.
NCAA basketball is brought to you by the full line of vehicles from Mitsubishi, built for living.
(50-34) North Carolina over Duke, #2, leading #1 by 16 points at the Dean Smith Center. And it's not too hard to break this one down. What happened inside North Carolina just killed the Blue Devils.
They dominated them 32-6, and it all started with the All-American, the superstar, who really rose to the occasion. Antoine Jamison of P.T. Pierre shows he can score in a variety of ways. He gets out right now in transition, and there he is with the jam, the little agile move inside. Now look at his post-up ability, and so quick with the catch and the release. Now watch him work on the offensive boards. We're going to watch him with that quick, long arms, the extension, the conversion. Now look at him as a trailer. Great communication between he and Mr. Cota, and there is the score. A variety of ways, Mike.
If you hit 9 out of 11 shots against one of the best, if not the best defense in the country, you have done a tremendous job, and they've done a great job to get the ball to Jamison in the right spots. 23 points, also 6 boards in the first half for the All-American, and they have a 16-point lead. The first time the #1 Duke has trailed all season long.
You know, it's amazing when you look at Jamison's numbers. They have focused on him, obviously. Look at that, 68% shooting after going 0 for 4. That has been so big. And the paint, the interior, an area where Duke has been hampered, obviously, in this game and all year, even though they've been so effective with their perimeter game. But in a big game, maybe, could it be? Certainly not making excuses or alibis. Coach K wouldn't have it that way. But what about this guy right here? His name, Elton Brand. Take a look at the big guy. This guy was averaging 16 a game, 7 rebounds, was, as far as I'm concerned, the premier post player in the ACC. And you look at Duke right now, Mike, they're getting nothing on the interior.
Let's check in with Jay Billis before the second half tap. Jay.
Mike, North Carolina have staked themselves out to this 16-point lead with their offensive efficiency. They're getting easy baskets, most of them in transition, because they're running off of Duke's offense. The Blue Devils have not made a lot of passes on the offensive end. They're taking some quick shots, and they have not gotten any offensive rebounds except for one possession when they got 3 or 4 and weren't able to convert. The Blue Devils are going to have to do a better job with their half-court offense to stop North Carolina's transition game. Mike?
I'll tell you one thing, Jay and Mike. Also, when you're not making shots, as Jay just spoke about the way they're getting out in transition, when you're not making shots like Duke right now, struggling shooting the ball, it creates a lot of problems. If you're making those shots, they can't get out in transition.
And if you're making your shots, you can set up the pressure defense that they like to play.
Carolina's done an unbelievable job attacking that half-court defense of Duke. They have really cut it apart. They have really done a superb job, but they still got to play another half. And these Duke kids, believe me, don't have an ounce of quit in them. You can't get to where they are right now and be a bunch of kids that aren't going to scrap and claw and play with a sense of pride.
I was talking to somebody at halftime. He came up with a very good point. He said Ed Cota looked so tight early, and then they got the lead, and Cota looked like the weight of the world was off his shoulder, and he came back and played very well the last 10 minutes.
He really did, Mike. He had 5 assists, so he's heading for a double-figure assist game here at that pace. You know, some people say, well, you know, you get assists. Just get the rock to Jamison, and you get all the assists you want.
Because he's not going to miss many.
I'll tell you. You look, you better believe Mike Krzyzewski made some adjustments at halftime. Remember this, the first time all year that Duke has been down at halftime.
And keep in mind, Mike Krzyzewski playing so many freshmen, their first trip into the Dean Smith Center. It's got to be an experience for them. So far, they can't have liked it very much.
Well, you think of these kids, they've won 38 of their last 40 games. They only lost at overtime to a gutting Maryland team at Maryland, and then they lost in the NCAA tournament to Arizona. 38 of 40. Amazing.
They have let Shammond Williams handle the basketball a lot more in the first half. He got it to Jamison. The bucket wouldn't go, but he will draw the foul inside.
It's just amazing how he gets free for the basketball. He's so active. What he does really well, Mike, he reads defenses exceptionally well. Right now, take a look at him inside now. See, he's going to post. Defense steps out. As soon as the defense steps out, look at this. That's Domzalski that creates that lane for him, and he's so quick in recognizing the opening.
Domzalski picks up his 3rd personal foul in the opening seconds of the half. And Jamison drains the first free throw. He's hit 6 out of 8 from the line. And it was so important for him to be a better free throw shooter, as much contact as he draws down low.
It's so great that he came back to school this year. The same with LaFrance and with Paul Pierce in Kansas. It was so beautiful for college basketball.
Biggest lead of the night, 17 points. McLeod into the lane.
Got it. Nobody had a hand on him. McLeod's had the ability all year of making big shots.
They have really taken Wojciechowski's defense away by not having Cota bring the ball up and letting Shammond Williams do it against Langdon.
Very smart maneuver by Bill Guthridge. Now, this guy here, you're trying to get him to the sideline so he can give help. If he operates in the middle of the floor, you can't give help.
Picked up his dribble, a very dangerous move. Here's the steal, but a foul preceded it.
Mike, the next 4 minutes is so big in this game. You play this game right now in segments. If you're Duke right now, you want to play this game in certain segments to create some spurts. See, look how Domzalski's trying to muscle him up, to get physical with him on the inside, to play behind. See, now he's going to step out, though.
Here come the Blue Devils.
Remember, they're such a threat from the perimeter. Chappelle certainly can shoot it.
Chappelle goes baseline. He's pushed by Carter. That'll be 2 on Vince Carter. The crowd did not like the call at all. Remember, Carolina not deep at all, but right now they are in good shape with fouls. Carter has 2, and Maktar Jai has 2.
I thought in the first half, Scagliotta, Shaw, and Rose did an excellent job, and all 3 have Final Four experience.
Wonderfully officiated ball game. Domzalski leans in, and he will draw the foul on Okulaja. That's his second.
You got to get some points on the inside. If you're North Carolina, Guthridge, you got to be careful to your club getting a little lethargic and getting a little passive. And if they get passive and lethargic, you're going to see Duke scrap right back into this game.
Domzalski getting more minutes as the season goes along, but he's only made 16 trips to the free throw line this year.
The kid that's really, I think, has not progressed like I anticipated was Chris Burgess. I thought he was going to step up big with the loss of Elton Brand. There's a look at Burgess, a McDonald's All-American. They have 8 McDonald's All-Americans. A lot of coaches wish they could have 1.
Domzalski makes 1 out of 2, 51-37.
I'm working with a McDonald's All-American when I work with you and Nestler, Musburger. I got all McDonald's All-Americans.
That's just because we eat there.
I'm a Wendy's.
Okulaja, bucket, and the foul.
You know what's amazing, Mike, right there? That's not Duke basketball. That's not Duke defense. Nobody rotates over to stop the driving angle. Nobody gives help to anyone. Look right here. He beats Domzalski to the goal, and then he goes right to the basket. Has a complete lane to the goal and gets the score.
4 on Domzalski, and the junior from Berlin, Germany, will go to the line.
He's a solid role player, one of the best role players in college basketball.
Off of McLeod, out of bounds, his bodies go flying.
I define a role player as somebody that sets screens, hustles, dives for loose balls, gets on the offensive boards. You need those kind of players.
Okulaja's come through with 4 assists tonight.
He's an excellent passer for a wing player. He's part of the 3 Musketeers, Carter, Okulaja, and Jamison. You know, you take a look at the history of basketball here in North Carolina. They won the national title in '82. And remember, they had the big 3, Perkins, Worthy, and Jordan. But what about role players? Matt Doherty was a great role player, now a fine assistant at Kansas, deserving of a head job, learning so much under Roy Williams.
That last foul was a hold away from the ball on Trajan Langdon. Cota struggling against Wojciechowski, got it inside. Carter hit as he went up, and Carter's clutching his back. He's hurt. Wojo pull up 3, partially blocked.
Not a good shot by Wojo. Bad decision right there.
Cota got a piece of it. Back the other way for the jam, and apparently Carter's back wasn't hurt that much.
I'll tell you, the Daytona Diamond, that's what they call him, baby, from out of Daytona, Florida. Great legs, great lift, explosive.
The lead is 18. Battier, bad pass picked off by Cota.
Can't let him get in the lane with that dribble penetration. Look at that bounce pass. He's so great making that pass to the post.
Jamison missed the shot, but he will draw another foul.
I'll tell you, Carter could be one of the most exciting players in all of college hoops. They have great eye contact, and he plays up and on the rim. I mean, this guy has got the great explosive bounce off the floor. He's like one of those pink bass. Remember those pink balls, the Spalding balls that I used to bounce?
Yeah.
That's what he's like. He bounces right off the floor. Boom, boom, boom.
In and out on the free throw for Antoine Jamison.
Jamison really does such a superb job getting up and down the floor. R.J. Billis is reporting to us it's really affecting in matchups right now for Duke. I don't think anybody anticipated this margin at this time. No one. I think everybody's stunned.
No way.
They're ecstatic, certainly, but stunned in a very positive way here in Chapel Hill.
Jamison gets the second when the lead just continues to mount. Now it's 19.
Can't say enough about the excellent defensive job. We talk about offense, but defensively as a team, they're playing so well, North Carolina.
Langdon fouled on the way in.
You think about the margin so far this year with some of the blowouts by Duke. I mean, they win by 44 over Virginia, 23 over a Missouri. They beat a Villanova by 28, a Maryland by 32, a Maryland by 27. I mean, it's unbelievable. Wake Forest by 36.
Right now, they're getting a feeling of what it's like on the other end, and here is another foul. And you can tell what Mike Krzyzewski wants to do. He wants his kids to take it to North Carolina, try to build up some of those personals, and see if he can get them in trouble. That one was on Ed Cota, only his first.
One of the great coaches in college basketball, Mike Krzyzewski. Forget those rumors. There's some rumors out in Detroit, Mike, that he might be headed out there to replace Doug Collins. No way, shape, or form is he leaving Duke at this moment within the next year or so. I believe he wants to coach. Think about this next year. They talk about recruits. They get they get James Rather, they get Elton Brand, and he gets a great freshman, Corey Maggette, coming in. So he's got 3 new players next year.
Kept alive by McLeod as he tipped the missed rebound. Langdon for 3. Duke just not able to hit. Battier. What's the call? He was forced out of bounds. Is it a foul? It is.
It's contact. No such call anymore.
No, there's no force out. It's either you're out of bounds or it's a foul, one or the other.
They get a foul. Langdon's going to have to find that 3. They're going to need some triples out of Langdon, who had 26 big ones when they beat them last year to break a losing streak. They've lost 8 out of 9 times to the Heels.
I think that was important because it was 3 on Maktar Jai with 17:05 to go in the game.
I think they're ready to get some basketball out of Brenton Haywood. I really do. He played so well against Clemson off the bench.
Trajan Langdon just inside the line, and he is fouled. That's Shammond Williams. That'll be 3 on Shammond Williams, and they are starting to mount against North Carolina.
Talk about fouls mounted. What about that Clemson game we were down here? Clemson ended up with 4 players. Take a look at Trajan trying to get into the 3-point line. They bump him. Now they rotate over. Fortunately for Carolina, though, they foul him in 2-point territory. He's like automatic on the line, this kid. He's nothing but nylon.
The best free throw shooter in the ACC, 89.4%.
I tell you, that kid shooting him for North Carolina is not bad either. Shammond Williams at about 88%.
Langdon, 2 out of 7 from the floor. He hasn't found his outside shooting touch.
He's become outstanding friends with Alex Rodriguez, the super baseball player who came there to see him play, and they've stayed in contact. Remember, that kid played baseball in the San Diego farm system until he started to see the curveball, and so want no part of that.
And no matter how many fouls they rack up against North Carolina, if they don't start making some shots, it's not going to make any difference.
Exactly. And if they don't start playing defense, Mike, Carolina's getting too many good looks, even here in the second half.
Jamison, the last to touch it. It's 56-40 with 16:35 to go. The crowd trying to inspire the defense. McLeod. The follow. Carrawell was right there.
Good hustle by Carrawell. Very flat performance right there in that possession by North Carolina. If you're Duke, you want to get to the 10-minute mark in single digits.
56-42. Jamison at the other end answers right back.
Somebody's got to keep the basketball away from Jamison and understand he is right now the most potent player in America. Somebody's got to tell him that.
Langdon swatted away by Maktar Jai. The follow partially blocked.
One thing about
for the loose ball, Duke will retrieve. Avery in backcourt.
One thing about Jai, he's physical on the inside and plays very hard. He's fouled out of 4 games.
The shot clock has not recycled. It's only at 9, and McLeod will try the 3 and miss. Rebound to Carter.
Live by that 3, as they say, Mike. That old cliche, you die by the 3.
Here's a reach-around foul on Avery.
Hoda, a good free throw shooter, shooting 81%.
We've got a timeout on the court. 15:38 to go in the game. The lead is 16. If you joined us late after the early going, it has been all North Carolina, 58-42.
Hey, Mike, everybody talks about the Duke defense. As you look at Wojo, usually they're catalyst. Right now, look at the numbers. The points they allow, 61 already tonight, 58. Field goal percentage, they're being destroyed. 65%, you're not going to beat anyone. 50% on a 3-point line. Turnovers, they've only forced 10. Not bad in that area, but haven't converted in that area. The big problem is they're getting nothing on the interior. They're getting no scoring inside. Everything now is being pushed to the perimeter for Duke.
And they're not stopping North Carolina inside.
You might have to just go double up on Jamison and just forget about look at the back door there. What a
Shamon Williams.
I'm seeing a clinic here, Mike. They're putting a coach's clinic on and how to execute the backdoor cut.
60-42. They can make it a 20-point lead here. Williams again.
What a show they're putting on, baby. We're seeing basketball at its best. This is unbelievable. The execution, the efficiency.
62-42, the biggest lead of the game. Makhtar Ndiaye called for a hold. That's 4 on the senior from Senegal.
Look at the smiles on the North Carolina faithful. They're on cloud 9. Look at Williams right here. We're going to watch him run a backdoor cut. They're going to run the backdoor. Goodbye. There he is. Defense slow rotating. Give me Shamon Williams and you got a chance to win. He just does all the little things. He's not the star of stars. He's just a solid player as Ndiaye comes up with number 4. He's fouled out of 4 games. Look at that perspiration. Wow. If you could put this in a bottle and tuck it away, this is exactly what coaches dream of their teams to perform in big games. And Bill Guthridge has got his kids so ready to play tonight.
You know, it's amazing when he took over for Dean Smith. I mean, after all, he was his assistant for 31 years, and yet people say, well, I don't know if he should be a head coach or not. Well, so far, he's done all right, hasn't he?
Oh, wow. It's been unbelievable, the performance. He's done a sensational job, and not easy replacing legends, just like Tubby Smith replacing a legend down there at Kentucky and Pitino. I mean, very difficult doing that, and both guys have really responded so positively to the challenge.
But I don't think I'll ever get over looking at that bench
and not seeing Dean Smith. I couldn't agree more.
Carter
can't win. You cannot come back unless you start the play on a defensive end. And it's layup city right now. The Heels are getting nothing but layups.
Duke is being shredded inside. Avery scores at the other end.
And that is so unusual when you think of Duke basketball. They're usually so competitive and so physical and tough.
Giving Haywood some minutes inside. He forced that one up. Carrawell on the run, missed a shot.
Defense rotated over and made that layup a lot tougher than what it looked in terms of the right angle to lay it down.
Cota with the left hand spins out for him. And they're going to call it a jump ball. Possession arrow will give it to Duke. The Blue Devils have to hit some big shots, and as you said, Dick, they have to play better defense.
You're going to take a look at Carter right underneath the hoop here. You're going to see him inside, and they're going to catch the ball. See, freeze it. The big guy, the screen right here, made it happen for him to go to the lane. And there he is, right there. Look at those legs. Look at that lift. You could see why he was Mr. Basketball in Florida.
Ed Cota with 8 assists, again exceeding his season average.
He's getting every record possible eventually from the assist totals here in North Carolina. There's been some great point guards that have played out there, including the assistant coach, Phil Ford. They didn't get any better than Phil Ford, baby.
Dick, you know how you get a feeling for games? I have the distinct feeling Duke is not going to make the big run tonight.
Well, they're not doing it on the defensive end, and unless you're going to make it happen defensively, see, there's a good steal right there. Got to now convert. Oh, that's sloppy by McLeod. Give it
right back to Haywood. Offensive foul on Haywood as the littlest guy on the court. Wojciechowski saw the train coming and stood right in the middle of the tracks.
He got right in front of the express, and he had his head down, which is a no-no, and he tried to make like a little guard. All big people, even Shaq I've seen out with the Lakers, they all want to make like a guard. Look at the big fella trying to handle the rock. Look at him. He wants to be like the Magic Man used to be. Give it up, big fella. Give it up.
And look at Wojo. Come and get me.
That's right.
He's amazing.
Inside, outside.
Burgess. He was such some action against Haywood, and Haywood called for the foul. Crowd didn't like that one.
Burgess has really struggled on that free throw line, Mike. His totals are unbelievably poor on that line.
Well, when you shoot 36.4%, you think of that as long-range shooting. This is from 15 feet away with no one in your face.
He doesn't keep his body squared to the goal and relax. Yeah, he starts drifting away. Yes, drifts away on his shot. He's got a better touch than that. There's no way in the world this guy should be shooting what he's doing. 20 for 56 right now. I mean, that is a no-no for a kid with his ability. It's concentration. Got to develop confidence, but see, he's drifted on his shot. Psychologically, I can see that it's affected him as well. Doesn't even want to be on that line. Shows that with his body language.
He has very little chance right now when he goes up there to shoot. Now Wojciechowski has switched to Williams.
Oh, that wide open inside, and Jamison, they missed him. He's so active without the ball. He keeps always moving.
Elijah back to Williams. Foul away from the ball, and I think it's going to be on Burgess holding.
You know, Michael, you won't talk about depth being a factor. I know I've talked about it. I've heard other analysts the same thing. The bottom line is when you think of the success of North Carolina, for example, when they won the national title in '82 and they won it again in '93, they were not very deep teams. In '82, when it was Black and Jordan and Perkins and Worthy and Doherty, they very rarely went to the bench. And in '93, with that gang, Montross and company, they didn't go to the bench.
Well, there is an air ball from Jamison.
And then when they had the bench in '94, when they added Wallace and Stackhouse and McGinnis, they got beaten in the second round by Boston College. So I think sometimes we overdo the depth factor.
Except if you get in foul trouble.
Exactly.
Then you have no other choice. Wojciechowski for three, and he hit it.
They got to really go to that three-point line because they have nothing going for them inside. They got to get some great looks. Remember last year they made 17 to tie a school record here and a record at North Carolina, but lost the game.
That makes it a 15-point game, and Shamond Williams went down hard. I think he traveled. He did. Duke has now hit 6 out of 14 from long range.
See, we're going to watch him all the room they give Wojo as they reverse him the ball. They're going to kick it back out to him. Freeze it right here. See this? Right here. Look how far back he is. He's got the wide look, and he's a 42% shooter from three, the little guy. Wojo from out of Baltimore, Maryland. Love him. Plays so hard. Such a competitor.
Every possession becomes something very important for the Blue Devils now. Wojo had the three and passed on it. Avery will take it and miss it. Carter with a rebound.
Avery's numbers are not great from three-point range, but he's very, very capable. Went 4 for 6 out there against Arizona in a big game.
When you're trying to come back from a deficit like this against a team like North Carolina, you better make most of it. Jamison jump hook. Wouldn't go, but Haywood with a monster foul.
I'll tell you one thing about Brendan Haywood, Mike. Every time I'm watching him as the season's progressing, he's getting a little bit better each time.
Chappelle hits the three, and how quickly you can come back with that shot. They've cut it to 14.
Chappelle rings the bell, big and loud. Bingo, bango, bango. Trifecta land.
Carter.
Hello. Little reverse.
Let's see if it counts. It does.
I can't believe how free they're getting without the basketball. How people are not challenging them and denying the basketball. Usually a rule in the Duke defense is to deny. Look at him on the inside right now. Look at Carter. He's going to post. And there's the explosion. Nobody rotates over. Nobody gives any help. And it's Jam City. It's the elevator man. He's up and away.
Avery with the foul, and Carter will go to the line. He and Jamison have been sensational again tonight.
Hey, I'll tell you, Brad Nessler and I did a game with Cincinnati, and Melvin Levitt, the player for Cincinnati, said, you know what? I want to challenge Carter in a dunking contest. Look at Haywood. Look at the big guy. Jamming. It's been all Tar Heels, baby.
The Duke students started camping out in Krzyzewskiville the 4th of January to get tickets to this ball game. That's the 4th of January, and the weather down here has been absolutely awful.
I'll tell you what, Mike, I'll sell my ticket. I got a great seat for that game. I'll sell it. Look at
Wojo. He is going absolutely nuts with his teammates.
That's a leader. That's a born leader. That's a future coach. I mean, hates to lose. You can see it all over. The passion and the love for competing, the little guy.
The lead is 17. Chappelle with a miss. The follow by McLeod. This one's knocked out of bounds by the heels.
This game's been won on the interior. North Carolina has been won thus far by the interior. 48% of their points to 69 have come in the lane. Bill Gutterich's club has won the battle in the 3-second area.
Duke to inbound with 10:56 to go in the game.
See, it's becoming An exclusive dribble, penetrate, kick it out, and shoot the three.
Chappelle is fouled by Cota. That will be 2 on Ed Cota.
Cota's such a brilliant performer at that point guard slot. We've said so often, to be able to excel in college basketball, you got to be great on the perimeter. You look at the great teams in America, they excel there. That's why I love that Arizona team with Bibby and Simon and Dickerson. Jason Terry, one of the great 6 men in college basketball. There's the elevator man, Mr. Carter. Look at Brendan. He's got that cocky strut now. Look, look. He knows he did well. He says, Coach, tell me I did well, Coach. Tell me I played well.
He really gave him some quality minutes tonight. Chappelle hits both free throws.
Yes, had some QT, quality time. Had it against Clemson. Made some big plays.
69-54, the lead 15. It's been all Carolina here in the second half after a burst near the end of the first.
Jamison, just an isolation, a one-on-one. Rising again for the big performance. The PTP, the primetime player, Jamison.
McLeod will try a three. The rebound to Okulaja. Jamison has 29 points.
I can't get over how easy they're executed. I can't get over. I cannot get over how easy they are executed. I cannot believe what I'm witnessing. I cannot believe seeing Duke being torn apart like they are by the Carolina offense.
31 points for Jamison. He has hit 12 of 15 field goals. He has been unbelievable.
Look at this, no shot. No shot to check his quickness there. Just unreal on the inside. Then they kick it to him again. And now he does the little reverse jam. Don't tell me he can't play at that next level. When I hear people say, well, can he make the wing jump shot? Can he make the perimeter J? Put him in a lineup and put 20 in a book at the next level. Put 20 in the book. I hope he stays in college for another year and follows the example of Van Horn, Duncan, Derek Anderson, guys like Brevin Knight. They're not starving, Mike, and yet they got 4 years of college.
And I think all of them would tell you right now it was really important for their careers as basketball players and very important for them as human beings to do what they did.
Exactly. You learn to grow up as a youngster.
Cota to Carter. McLeod got over to play some help defense and knocked it out of bounds.
Especially if you're interested academically. There's some kids that have no interest academically. That's one of the major problems in college athletics, in football and basketball. We have too many kids in those revenue sports that don't want to be there, have no desire academically to be there. And that creates a dilemma.
73-55. Carter. This one wouldn't fall.
So many easy shots and opportunities tonight.
When they do miss, it's an upset.
See, everything now is becoming the three-point shot. Got no posting ability on the inside.
Carrawell tries the three and hits it.
That's the only way, their only chance and opportunity. They're becoming one-dimensional. And see, that could be a problem for them later in the year when they play against the really super clubs and you get to the postseason. And that's where the loss of Elton Brand could really spell trouble for them against people that can make them play competitive basketball and can match them up talent-wise.
Mike Krzyzewski said by the end of the year he would have been one of the best 2, 3, or 4 players in the ACC as a freshman.
No doubt.
Langdon for three, he's been way off. Rashawn McLeod with the follow. Now they've cut it to 13.
They need a spurt. They got to get a spurt. And if one is going to happen, it has to happen with their defense creating opportunity. Something they've done all year that has not happened here.
Cota throws it away.
It is. They got to convert. They got to convert.
Wojo, and he was the last to touch it.
You can't fault a kid that gives a supreme effort. You can't fault a young man. As you look at Mike, I know he's certainly not a happy guy, but when you have an error happen because of effort, and there it is right there, loses control of the ball. But look at that effort. Look at that effort.
Now, how big would that have been? It would have cut it to 11 with 8:33 to go. As poorly as they have played defensively. And he's back in the game. That's the first turnover that Wojciechowski has had tonight.
And also, we got to think about how well Carolina has played.
Absolutely.
They have been terrific. They have been terrific. Their spacing, their ball movement, their passing, their execution. And you know what, Mike? You said it earlier. as we watch the drive here. You said it earlier, and it's so true. The right people are shooting the basketball.
Yes.
The Jamisons, the Carters, the Williams. And that's understanding your strengths and your weaknesses.
That foul was on Chappelle. That'll be 2 on him.
I know you and I have been here since about 5:45, 6 o'clock, waiting all night, so excited like little kids. And how could you not be a little kid? Somebody said to me in a media room, said, Nick, you've been all pumped up about this. How could you not be pumped up about this? I act about 11 to 12, and I'm proud of it.
Well, you talk about being like kids. This is like Christmas for us.
Exactly.
Three-pointer, air ball for Avery.
Not even close. Could be some perspiration on his hand. The crowd lets him know it about air ball. Remember, they got a trip down there to Duke, and those Cameron Crazies will be live like you can't believe when the Heels come there February 28th.
Duke has had the opportunity to make some big shots, but when it comes right down to it, they have not been able to come through. Jamison, Leaner is blocked. Great defense that time.
Somebody better realize he's hanging back if they don't convert here. Jamison's got a layup.
McLeod for 3, and he missed it. Carrawell with a rebound. He'll try a 3 and got it.
It's down to 10, Mike. It's down to 10.
Do you believe this? As poorly as they have played, they've cut it to 10.
And that's the three-point shot. If that three-point shot falls, you live by that 3, you'll die by that 3. But if it falls, that's a look at Scott Williams, who just walked by. Roy Williams' son. I know Roy's had so much success up in Kansas, but they tell me he went with unbelievable jubilation when his son scored on a three-point play and a drive, and I don't blame him. He said, it's 3 more than I got in my career in North Carolina. Battier is going to make a great defensive play here. We see him right there with the rejection. The diaper dandy blocks Mr. Jamison. And then on the other end, Carrawell knocks down the trifecta. There's the rotation, the backspin, and he gets the fall, and we got a 10-point game. Coach K would like to use that guy to his left, Johnny Dawkins, one of the greatest ever to wear a uniform at Duke.
The last 159, Duke has scored the last 8 points. They have cut the lead to 10.
86, they were 37-3. Jay Billis was part of that team as well. Played 40 games. Only 3 teams have ever played 40 games. UNLV in 90 and 97. Also Kentucky.
Jamison, great feed to Okulaja. Somehow it wouldn't fall for him. What a pass.
They can get this to single digits. Kansas, by the way, has a chance to play over 40 this year.
Avery, oh, it's an impossible shot, and he traveled. Avery has made a couple of bad decisions the last couple of times he's had the basketball.
He really has, Mike. Really a freshman mistake right there.
By 10 with a lot of time to go in the game, we invite you to join us for the ESPY Awards, the 6th annual ceremony on Monday at 7:30 from Radio City Music Hall in New York. Norm Macdonald is the host. We'll have awards for Male and Female Athlete of the Year, the Comeback Athlete of the Year, and of course the Arthur Ashe Award for Courage presented to former North Carolina coach Dean Smith. Monday at 8, pregame activities at 7:30.
I'm looking forward to being out there. Our buddy Freddie Godelli, our outstanding producer, talked to me the other day. He's producing the ESPYs. I'll be giving out the Coach of the Year award in all sports. Looking forward to having some fun. You're right. Freddie is one special guy.
6:42 and counting. Mike Patrick, Dick Vitale, Jay Billis, glad you could join us from Chapel Hill.
You know, right now, Carolina 1 for 2 from 3, and Duke is 9 for 25.
Okulaja got it inside to Carter, and Dakota. He should have shot the ball instead. He overpassed, and there's only 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah, he tried to make the extra pass. They're so unselfish. But the bottom line is, should have shot that basketball.
They have not scored in the last 3:30, giving Duke an opportunity to get back in this. Carter, as the shot clock runs down with a miss. Jamison, offensive rebound. He missed.
Big possession right now. If you talk about a big possession in a game, this is a big one. You're approaching the 5 to 6 minute mark, and you're down 10. You got to get it to single digits.
Rashawn McLeod, the Duke bench up, asking for goaltending. They won't get it. McLeod from the other side for 3.
Getting a third.
Another chance for Duke. Wojciechowski for 3. And now Maktar Jai with a rebound. And Maktar Jai called for the foul. Slams the ball on the floor out of bounds, and then he's hit for a technical.
Oh, what a silly play. Write this down to score right now, Mike. Write the score, the time of the game, because this could be a big momentum change. This could really set the mood in a negative scene for North Carolina. Not a smart play by the senior Jai. Fouls out of the game. Not only does he foul out of the game and hurt his club, but he hurts him with a big, big technical.
The lead is 10. Jai is gone. So we will have the free throws.
See right here now. He feels he gets tripped right here. He comes to the deck. He gets called for the foul. Can't believe the foul. That's a no-no, Makdar. You're too experienced. That's a no-no. What a big turnaround.
Unless something happened earlier, he certainly did not commit a foul on that play.
No, he did not. Unless we didn't see something. But you still can't react that way, Mike.
Now, Shane Battier made both of these shots to cut it to 8. Here comes the automatic. Trajan Langdon. He can cut it to 6. And then they get the ball. What a huge play.
Big times turnaround. Unbelievable turnaround right here. There's a look
4
at
straight points. This could be a 7-point play.
See, watch this. Watch him right here. Watch him right here. Watch him right here. He's got to.
Oh yeah, that's it. That was it.
Can't get away with that. Can't get away with that. Silly play by Makdar. He's put this club back into the game.
A 12-0 run for #1 Duke.
Well, you knew
Langdon pull up jumper and he got it. Holy cow, they've cut it to 4.
He's made some big plays in the latter stages of games this year. He made them against Virginia when they needed them and against Clemson when they came back.
That was a 6-point possession.
Plus, they take the experience of Jai in the middle off the floor.
Cota answers at the other end.
And Cota with a big, big bucket. Crowd is stunned. The crowd is absolutely shocked.
Duke looks re-energized. Langdon for 3, too strong. Carrawell tried to keep it alive. The rebound goes to Jamison.
Shot the ball a little too quick there. Jamison with the big rebound.
Jamison with 10 rebounds. 4:59 to go. Shammond Williams. Carter follow away. Got it!
And he's got the strut. He's got that strut. He was a drum major. What a big play by Carter. Trying to bail out their teammate Jai, who put him in a little bit of a hole here late in the game.
17 points and 6 rebounds for Carter. He and Jamison have put on a colossal show.
And that's what special players do, make big, big plays.
Trajan Langdon for 3. He has just not been able to find his stroke tonight.
Gonna watch Carter with that fall-away J. There's that little fall-away J. And then look at this. He used to be a drum major. That's right. Headed the band out in Daytona Beach, Florida, Mainland Regional.
The lead is 8. McLeod against Carter. Double team. Got it to Carrawell, and he puts it home. It's back to 6.
I really like Carrawell. Plays so hard. There's great movement right there without the basketball. Right down the gut of the defense.
19 points for Carrawell.
Wojo having a tough time trying to defend Cota, who's an outstanding free throw shooter. Shoots 81%. We talked about if you get to winning time the last 4 minutes, North Carolina is really excellent on that free throw line. Take a look at Wojo. They try to set a screen. All he needs is a little screen, and there's the bump. There's the bump.
3 on Wojciechowski, and Cota will go to the line.
I know a fan watching this game right now as Cota knocks that down. George McFeely is battling cancer. Steve Kirchner's father-in-law, his daughter Jean, is a Duke graduate. Steve here working at North Carolina does a great job. As an SID, we wish you nothing but the best, George. Everybody's rooting and cheering for you.
9 assists, but 8 turnovers tonight for Ed Cota.
He had a lot of turnovers against that Duke pressure. But you know what, Mike? The turnovers weren't the kind that led to layups.
79-71.
Every possession now begins more and more magnified for Duke.
Battier outside gives it up to Langdon.
Trying to get a screen for him.
And Trajan Langdon nearly tied up. Wide open McLeod.
Defense rotates out and McLeod wide open. They keep hanging at 6. And remember, that's a 2-possession game with the utilization of the 3.
Well, you knew they wouldn't quit. They have been down as many as 20. With the left hand, Cota.
Cota has made 2 big offensive plays with the right hand and now the left hand.
Carrawell back the other way, rushed that one.
Trying to score too quickly. Plenty of time on the clock. Trying to get back into the game too quickly. Cota has been tough to handle for Wojo at the point.
Cota has really gained
what a
confidence.
pass.
Got it to Haywood. The basket and the foul.
What a pass. They're starting to develop another quality time player. They tap him on the head. And there's a look at Makdar, who had that technical. Look at Brendan. He locks up inside at 7 feet. And all he's got to do is catch it, turn, and lay it on the glass. Great look. An uncanny ability to deliver the rock. He's the best post passer in college basketball. Ed Cota from Brooklyn, New York.
Foul on Rashawn McLeod, his third, the three-point play. And every time Duke has made a run, North Carolina has responded. 3:07 to go. The Heels over the Blue Devils by 11.
Playing the ball game, North Carolina leads by 11, and they have that lead thanks to Vince Carter. He has been outstanding in this ball game, combining the stellar with the spectacular, running the court, getting the pass from Ed Cota, then down low with the strong finish. And with about 5 minutes left in this ball game, Vince Carter was the guy that took the game in his hands, got a great offensive rebound and this fall-away jump shot to give his team the lead. Vince Carter has been spectacular, Mike.
Jay, he and Jamison have put on quite a show here for the home fans.
They have shown why they're number 1 and 2 in the conference in shooting. Carter shooting 62% and Jamison 61%. High percentage shots.
84-73, and Duke turns it over. Avery has not had a good night.
Avery's really struggled here tonight. He really has had 3 tough situations here in the latter stages of this game. I think the 2 big plays by Ed Cota really bailed North Carolina out when they started to get on the ropes here, and Duke made their run. He made 2 great drives to the basket. Can't foul this guy. He's automatic, Shammond Williams, 88%. See, they run a little double stack to try and pop the ball out to Shammond. He's automatic.
Williams buries the jump shot with 2.5 minutes to go. It's back to a 13-point lead.
He's automatic once he gets that curl move in the lane.
The Heels trying to win their 7th straight against Duke in this building. Cota with the alley-oop.
Hello! Hello!
I'll tell you what. Just as a fan, I would have liked to have seen that one gone in.
Exactly.
That would have been unbelievable. Offensive foul.
They are so pumped up. They have played so brilliantly here tonight. They had that one little negative spurt where Duke came back at them. But here they're going to see a little show as they kick it out, and the Heels, little R&R, rip and run time. They slam it on the glass, but he can't jam the baby. But it goes back, and they knock a trifecta.
Phone Patrol from 1-800-COLLECT.
North Carolina has regained the advantage, 89-73, with 2:03 to go in the ball game. We're at the Dean Dome in Chapel Hill. Let's take a look at the Bosch storyline. Duke shooting 31% from long range. Trajan Langdon has hit only 3 out of 12. North Carolina with an awesome advantage inside. Antoine Jamison, 31 points, 10 rebounds. He and Carter have combined for 48 points.
3-to-1 ratio on the interior. I'll tell you one thing. North Carolina showed tonight. They took a big hit by Duke making that comeback, and they responded like true super clubs. I'll tell you, it's all North Carolina. Their execution tonight, their offensive efficiency, their rating has to be exceptionally high.
They are playing with such tremendous confidence right now.
And it all started with the play of their All-American, and they fed off him. He has been brilliant. And what about Shammond Williams? 8 for 10 tonight.
And ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at the new #1 team in the country, the Tar Heels of North Carolina.
Jamison can do no wrong. He's trying to put a lock a player of the year. He's trying to show all of America tonight, I am clearly the best player in the land.
Antoine Jamison with 33 points. Carter with another rebound.
And it's been to Carter. You name it, they've all played brilliantly.
After Duke cut it to 4, they have been outscored 20 to 4. Make it 22 to 4.
Oh, baby. This team is running away. It's R&R time. Rip and run time. It's party time. Get ready to party on Franklin Street tonight, baby. Chapel Hill will be rocking and rolling. It'll be party time at Franklin Street.
95-73, and the look on Mike Krzyzewski's face says it all. Carolina has been too much tonight, not only for the Heels or for the Blue Devils, but for anybody.
But something about a whipping like this can bring out the best out of people. We will see how they will respond against North Carolina State on the road on Sunday. Cota fouled by Wojciechowski with 12.8 seconds to go. Remember, coming up on ESPN News after the ball game, we will take you live to the post-game press conferences. Hope you'll stay tuned for that. Knowing Mike Krzyzewski, I guarantee you he will sing the praises of North Carolina in a classy way. And I'll guarantee you his kids will not roll over. They will respond by a great day of practice. They will get ready mentally, physically, and emotionally, and realize losing this game certainly doesn't dampen the season because there's a lot of basketball to be played. Just remember, 1994, they got beat by North Carolina when they were #1, and Carolina was #2, but they went to the final game of the NCAA tournament. Let's check in with Jay Billis. Jay.
Guys, Antoine Jamison is an amazing basketball player. He's got 35 points and 11 rebounds in this ball game. He's only had the ball in his hands actually for 53 seconds. That's amazing efficiency. I'm not sure there's another play in America that can put up that kind of number.
He makes it happen every time he touches the ball, Jay. He makes something happen. 97-73. What a show by the Tar Heels. Well, you know, another thing these teams are playing for is the #1 seed in the East. They want to play in Greensboro, and right now, North Carolina laying claim, taking the early lead to be the #1 seed, and they're ready to celebrate. Oh, they're going to toast their heels now, Michael. (97-73) the final. What a performance by North Carolina. An A+, Mike, an A+. They deserve to celebrate here. They deserve to be jubilant because it's been North Carolina basketball at its best. Tonight was the 199th Battle of the Blues, where 56 All-Americans have fought. 2 elite programs that have shared in 23 ACC titles, 24 Final Fours, and 6 national championships. Tonight, #1 met #2, and for the most part, it was no contest. Behind the sterling performances of Antoine Jamison and Vince Carter, the North Carolina Tar Heels exploded for a 97-73 win. Thanks for watching ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Join ABC in 23 days for the rematch from Durham. Good night, everybody.
You're looking at Nikki Benish, the #9